Let's start so we don't make people wait.
Yep.
Excuse us, folks, for having the conversation. I can't use the controller, bro. I cannot use it on my PS5. Not for guilty
Oh
gear.
yeah, no,
That's all I
no,
had.
not at all. The input lag is too real.
No, it won't even read the shit. I can't even get it to figure out how to read the shit, bro.
It is universal. It should work. Let me. I will. I still have my other one, so I'll hook it up.
Okay.
And see. Because my
Oh,
Oh, did you hook the
handsome
controller?
friends.
You gotta hook the controller up to the fight pad, and then turn the controller on, and then have it read. Then restart with the fight pad, and then it'll read that. If that makes sense. Like
Wait.
I'll show you. I'll show you when this is over, because I can show you on my fight pad how to do it.
Okay. I'll definitely try. I got it right over here. So, anyways, you already know what it is, man. It's your man, SumOfMan, like the grand total. Not that I think that I am. And we're here as always with my homie, Noir King R6, Artist Bricks. And today we got another homie, a good homie of mine, goes by the name of Apprentice. Hey, and look, he got Cat's art right there in the back. Dope shit. She just sent some tea, not tea, coffee. She just sent us some coffee. Shout out to
Same.
shout
I
out
just
to
got
her.
some of that.
It's good. It's very earthy. It's very earthy, which I like. And yeah, today on Black Men Meet, we're gonna be talking about polyamory. And the question of the day is polyamory the new monogamy? 2021, right? But really, we're just
The
gonna
new
All right.
monogamy.
we're gonna talk about
That's
polyamory. We're gonna talk about all the nitty gritty, and we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Let's start with introductions. Introduce yourselves, say your current relationship status, and I want to say like one interesting dating story. Can we do that? One interesting dating story. I got one. I just thought of one.
cool. Let's hear it.
Okay, so yeah, I'll start. You already know. Yeah, me, summer man. I am basically husbando. I got a family, 2 kids, 2 baby mamas, right? But it's cool. It's chill. Me and my lady Amani Jade in the chat, we solid as a rock. And one interesting dating story that I have is when I was young, when I was in high school, I got into a relationship with this chick. Her name was Star, and she was like, she was a butch, right? She was like a butch lesbian, and then she started dating me, right? Which was already interesting enough. But yeah, I mean, she was kind of cute for a butch chick. And so at some point in time, she thought that she really had me whipped so bad that she could call me and break up with me, and then I would come crawling back to her. She was that kind of person, right? So she did that, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I guess, bro. I'm going to the mall. Peace out. So then I didn't talk to her for like hours, and she called me back, and she was like, yo, like, what's up? I was like, what the fuck you talking about? What's up? You just broke up with me. And she's like, it was a joke. And I was like, I don't play that shit. I don't play that. Like, you thought it's not a joke. And then she wound up being the one crawling back, trying to ask me to get back with her. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Because if you do that kind of shit right now, you're gonna do other crazy shit in the future. Okay? I'm not fucking with that. So that's my crazy dating story. Does anybody want to take it from here?
I go ahead and knock it out. You all know it's your boy Noir
I think
King.
that's just frozen.
Is he?
It looks like it. Unless he's being like freaking mind still.
Technically,
What did I say? Told you.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Yeah. So, you all know Noir King, your boy. Man. Current dating status right now, I am single. And I am enjoying that life. All the video games in the world, bro. Man. But if there are any ladies that are available, I am always looking for the next Mrs. Noir King. But crazy dating story, man. I shared a couple of them on here. What's a good one? Oh, okay. Here's one. Uh, I had met. I was on one of those dating sites, and I met a girl catfished me, and it was one of those situations where I was just like, I don't really want to do this, but she got good weed, so I guess I can go back to the spot. But here's the crazy thing, though, bruh. Here's the craziest. Here's the craziest thing, though, Brad. Why we get there and she's like, "Yeah, I got some cats. Hope you don't mind." I'm like, "Yeah, cats is cool, whatever." Cat come out, cat blind.
Oh, she had a blind cat, bro.
Blind cat and the
Oh
cat. So the cat come out blind. I'm like,
bro, that's crazy.
At this point, I'm like, well, I can't even leave now because if I do, the cat gonna see me and then it's gonna know I'm fucked up. So I got to.
For real, you gonna hurt the cat's feelings, bro.
I know, right? I'm gonna hurt the cat's feelings because this lady took care of the cat. I took one for the team for that one, bro. I was like, man.
Yeah, you got to.
Whoa.
You got to. I mean, she had good weed, bro. Yo, did that freeze again, bro?
Yo, bro.
Y'all
lost me for a second there.
Yeah, we did. Your screen
My
is
whole
frozen.
internet.
What?
Oh, still?
Yeah. It's kind of. I think it's frozen in this back. It stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
It's better. Yeah, sorry about that. He was telling a story about how he met a girl who catfished him on the internet, and he went over there anyway. He took one for the team. She had a cat. The cat was blind. So he's like, I can't leave now because the cat is blind. And we're not disrespecting his cat.
Can't leave a blind disabled cat, ladies.
No. Right? Cannot leave a blind. You cannot leave a lady who takes care of blind disabled cats, bro. Even if she catfished you. That's 100 years bad luck, okay? Your future children are gonna be having bad luck from that.
For real. I ain't trying to let the bullets I send off today curse my kids, man. What?
Exactly. The ghost gonna visit. They're gonna be like, "Hey, bro, you know your bloodline is cursed, right?" Like, for real? Yeah, y'all. They got like 70 years to go, bro.
Hey, man, I ain't trying to end up like Rasputin from Psychonauts, bro. What happened? Well, my dad crossed the gypsy, and now all of my male descendants will die in water. What?
Like, hold on, bro. Why?
Why? Like, what kind of? That's
why would you do that, bro? Like, why did you do that to us, bro? Ultimate animal activist. That's funny. That is hilarious, yo. That's you want to go ahead and take the reins?
Oh shit!
Oh my goodness.
I love cats.
Man, my man loves cats. Like, I don't even like cats, but I feel the same way. Okay.
Because I don't really date. I wouldn't say I date like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's like mostly I like be just kicking it with people, and then
this internet.
I guess recently I've been dating more.
Yo,
I don't like
turn your video off. I think that'll help.
All right.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
No, my whole internet is like acting wild. I don't know why.
I already know how it is, man.
My whole router is acting crazy.
Pussy lover. Woohoo!
But
that's what they say in the chat.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like
oh no, not the internet, bro. Not the internet.
I don't have a lot of bad weird stories. I've had some like weird internet dates or something like that. But really, the best thing for me, the things that I remember, I don't remember that all that stuff. It's like when a relationship is over, I remember the good stuff because it's like that's the way I want to be.
I feel that.
That's
Nice.
That's
That's nice.
Really nice. Yeah.
You know, I've been in a lot of crazy relationships, and I just cannot help but remember that crazy ass shit. But a lot of it's hilarious. It was hilarious then too.
Oh man, I don't know, man. Like, oh,
Because even like, so you remember Molly.
Yeah. Damn, I hate this shit's cutting out. Because I feel like this is a good juicy story. Okay.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm still friends with her on Instagram. I used to go over to house with her all the time.
Man.
She had a
this
cat.
person. Well, she got a cat, but it was like, I felt like, you know what? I feel like this is.
Dang, that's your internet keeps cutting out, bro. You got to do something.
Yeah, I mean, just so it was getting good too.
I know. That's the romantic. Man, for real.
Now I live with now. I was dating her for like 2 years during that relationship.
You keep cutting out, bro. You keep cutting out.
That bad?
Yes, bro. Call him with your phone or something, bro.
Got you.
Like he got the juice. Yo, he is the romantic and poly dude, and that's why I brought him. So he didn't really talk about his dating, his current dating situation, but he has a girlfriend, and I think his girlfriend has a girlfriend, and he's poly, right? And they have a open relationship. I can't speak on their entire relationship, but I know that he is for sure poly. I know that he for sure has a girlfriend, and from what I understand, his girlfriend has a girlfriend, and the relationship is open from there. He can talk more about the specifics and how that works, but him and I talk about relationships, and he, I already sent him the Zoom link.
Yeah.
Okay. He always talks about how you come across similar things with with monogamous relationships as you do polyamorous relationships, right? And so I think perhaps maybe he is the most romantic out of all of us. I like romance. Okay, but I think my man takes the cake. He got a big heart. Okay, all my relationship shits, they are crazy. I have very few relationships that have ended on amicable terms.
Damn, you got to work on that, Brad.
I mean, I'm working on not ending a relationship.
There you go.
Okay, like, I'm trying to be in it for the long haul right now. I'm trying to be grandparents together with my partner. That's what I'm working on.
There you go.
I mean, some of it is I take responsibility for being in a situation, but I have dated some very interesting women in my time.
And that's a fair assumption, man. That's a fair assumption. I mean, a lot of relationships, when they fail, it automatically is the guy's fault, but we forget that women are just as capable of ending relationships as men.
Yeah.
One of the things, though, definitely about this conversation today, I know we can get into the deeper specifics of it when Dunstan hops back on, but man, it's so crazy. Like, monogamy in all reality is going against who we are as men. Like, and in the Black community, like, to be real, we are heavily outnumbered because as Black men, right, we are in our communities put down the hardest. If we aren't married to a Black woman by a certain age, who are you? Why are you here? You feel me? Like, what do you do? You're not furthering the Black cause. I'm sorry. I like to not be held down by any type of anything. So why are y'all telling me what I need to be doing? You feel me?
That's facts.
Like, here's another thing too. I hear whenever I try to bring this up with any of my other Black friends or my family, the first thing I hear is, well, polyamory is a white thing. No, it's not.
It's not.
First off, in the villages of Africa, even now to this day, they practice polygamy. All right. Back in Egypt, Jews had like 3-4 wives. Okay. The Jews had like 3-4 wives. What was it?
King Solomon?
Solomon and the other one, I think, was it David. Yeah, when he left, he came back and his army was his wives. Like, bro, like, come on, man. Y'all can't tell me that, that was something that happened right now. Nah, monogamy happened now because there became more people. So we didn't need to do that as much. But going back to the Black scenario here, see, my thing is in the Black community, again, we are heavily ostracized. We are heavily pressured to be in, monogamous relationships because that's what everybody else is doing. Your grandparents did it, your parents did it. You feel me? Like, and now you have to do it because that's the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you look at the family structure, who do you see at the top? The father, right? But you look in any other animal relationships, right? Our pack mentality relationships. Men and women share power equally, except for in the dynamic of alpha predators. Then it's different. You know, lions.
But a lot of times the women lead the packs. You know, like in the form of lions, like the male lions, they stay at the home and they guard it essentially, but the female lions, they go out and they hunt. You know.
Same thing with wolf packs.
Yep, and also like spiders and certain insects, the female insect is usually the bigger one, and a lot of times they kill the male. I'm glad they won't do that shit here.
Praying mantises.
Exactly, praying mantises and spiders. Amani Jade has a question in the chat. She says, "Interesting being a code word for what? Interesting in this is a catch-all because I've dated a lot of women from all over the spectrum of things that they could be." From straight up crazy women to violent women to ultra religious women, you know, to women who are deeply in love with me, women who hated me but liked me at the same time. I've dated all kind of women. Okay.
Spectrums.
And she also asked, "Have you ever romanced multiples at once?" I have been in a polyamorous situation. Before I had my son, I was in a polyamorous situation. I think I dated like 3 women at that time. Noir King, what about you, man?
Oh yeah, no, I lived that philosophy from day one. Like I never wanted a monogamous relationship. Like even when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have like 2-3 wives. Why? Because why not? Like number one, why not? Number two, if I'm really the shit, I should be having more people telling me that. Yeah, I think that shit. Like what the fuck? Yeah. But no, in all seriousness though, man, a lot of my relationships end because man, they start off with that. Yeah, I think I'm cool with that. That's cool with you being a poly, and then it goes, well, how come I can't be the only one? See, that's the problem. There's just number one, there is no only one, and number two, why?
Okay, hello.
Oh.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, so I just call it down to make sure he's coming back in. But I feel you. I mean, I've been trying to do monogamous relationships most of my life, so I come from like pretty much a completely monogamous space. I've had varying levels of success, and I was poly, but personally, I felt like for me, I'm not really tied to one or the other. I'm not tied to monogamous or polyamorous. And if I'm keeping it real, when I was polyamorous, it was more about me not wanting to actually be with anybody, to be tied down to any person, you know. And I'm in a monogamous relationship right now, and I'm super super happy. I've never been happier in any relationship ever. And we've talked about polyamory, and I'm open to the idea, but I don't even know if I have actual capacity to spend with another person. You know, I feel like I barely have enough time for myself, my lady, and my kids. My dad be calling, he'd be like, nah, I ain't seen you in about 4 weeks, 4 moons, son. I'm like, I just seen you at your last week, Pops. I'm a busy man. Like, I got gaming to do. I got content to make. I'm trying to edit videos right now. Okay.
So let me ask you a question. Do you feel like the polyamorous side of you kind of subsided when you had more attention to give to other things besides a relationship?
That's an interesting question. I feel like it did, and but I also feel like I also like really kind of like monogamous relationships, you know, and I feel like I'm drawn to that and I'm attracted to that, and like I wouldn't say it's a part of who I am, but it is like a big part of how I operate as far as like wanting a relationship. Like this is enough for me. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't need much more than that. And the things that I want and desire are really more about myself. But you know what? That kind of brings up another section of the argument. I'm gonna keep it real. For me, sexual satisfaction. All right. If I if I have if I have like satisfaction on all the things and I have sexual satisfaction, I really don't feel the need to have multiple partners. You know, personally.
I feel that. I feel that. I mean, there's a lot of people who would argue that people only go into polyamory to seek out multiple partners because one can't fulfill one thing and another one fulfills another thing, and then so forth and so on. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool for them, but like, you got to be able to like maintain that level of intimacy or whatever type of facade that you use to get that person with that one slice of them for you. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're gonna do it, you need to do it the whole way. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I tell people like this straight up. It's not I didn't drop Christianity and become a pagan because you get to dance naked in the woods. No, I did it because you can it's a better understanding of what it is that I am trying to achieve personally in my life. You know, you feel me? I can't do that under a guise of this is how it has to be. Why? Again, my question is why? Like, I understand full heartedly why you would go for a monogamous relationship over a polyamorous relationship. Not even giving your past. This is because this is not about me and you. Like, I'm just throwing this out here, man. I get it. Like, I 110% having that peace, that stability, that
Mm-hmm.
ability to be like, I'm coming home and I know this
Yeah.
person is here waiting for me. You feel
Yeah.
me?
Got
Like,
my
oh
back,
man,
you know.
yeah, you feel me? We long for that. You feel me? We
Mm-hmm.
do. Like, I don't know any man who would say that they wouldn't. You feel me? Uh, and with that being said, some of us, like myself, like to be able to come home and be like, cool, look at look at that. It's like a lion, like a lion's pride. You feel me? Like
My man said I
we
like
all come
pride.
together. Hey, facts though,
I
man.
feel
We
it.
come together and we make something beautiful. You feel me? And it's good. It's harmony. But it all comes down to clear and precise communication on
Mm-hmm.
what everybody is here to do. You feel me? Like you can't have a polyamorous relationship and be like, man, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's facts. That's
Whoa,
facts.
why you bring all these people up in here if you like
Yeah,
stiff arming?
exactly. And with that, with polyamory, you gotta have like even more conversations. You gotta have clear lines of communication with everybody who's in the relationship, or who's involved with the relationship, and the people who they're involved with. You know, and I think that the the thing that with polyamory that needs to really happen is what kind of polyamory is it going to be? Is it going to be
Yes.
polygamy? Is it going to be polyandry? Is it going to be like an open relationship where anybody can date anybody? What are the conversations that we need to have? How do we keep ourselves safe? You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
Amani Jade has a question in the chat. She says, "But high sex drive, is that a reason to be polyamorous?" I mean, I think for
I
some
would
people
say
it could
no.
be, but not. I mean, as a practice, no, because that's not going to be
No.
sustainable. As a
Nope,
practice,
not at all.
being polyamorous just because you have a high sex drive is not going to be sustainable. And
That's like
you
a quick
go ahead.
analogy. That's like working at a bar, being an alcoholic. Like, okay, like you
Exactly.
doing something to help satiate yourself, but are you really actually getting help for your issues? Or are
Mm-hmm.
you just trying to put a band-aid on it? Well, I got a job as a bartender, so of course I'm gonna drink.
Like,
Like, come on,
nah,
man. Like what?
nope,
Like what? Like,
nope.
bro, no, that don't work. So no, I'd have to say no. Like again, it all comes down to respect and communication. If you have a high sex drive, you shouldn't be searching out for relationships. You should be trying to find women who are capable of giving you that without the emotion. And then that's just what you do. Because
Facts.
if you know that you can't I know I can't be able to be with this person for more than X amount of time before I have to go jump onto somebody else. Let that be known.
Yeah.
You
At the
feel me?
beginning. At the beginning.
Yes, because again, a lot of problems in relationship happens because I see this a lot on the internet. 3 months in, you change. No, don't say that. Because when you came in here that first week, when you was crying on my shoulder and I was telling you all this stuff, and you was acting like it was doing this and coming right out of here, and and then slowly it started to manifest in front of you. Now you looking at me like I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's facts. That's facts. And for I think that's why I'm not really pushing polyamory for myself, because I mean, I I really I feel like I have the capacity to love multiple people, right, at the same time, and to have a to to give my energy to multiple people, but also where I'm at in my life, my time and my energy is limited, and I don't really have a desire to be trying to entertain multiple people. And at the time when I was in a place where I could entertain multiple people, I mean, I got high sex drive flowing in me, right?
Mhm.
But I'm really trying to be polyamorous because I'm trying to go away from a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying not to be in a relationship, and I'm not trying to be tied down to a person. And I'm considering myself like an individual. I wasn't
Right.
like, I'm gonna build a polyamorous family. I'm gonna like bring all these elements together, and we're gonna be all like, we're gonna be some big
Uh-oh.
hub. You know?
Roro Shaggy.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't believe that, because you're a regular kind of person. You like when you what you like, and you really really like it. That's facts. Wait, which part you don't believe? I
Uh,
am totally a regular person. I'm I'm super straightforward. Besides smoking a herb, I'm damn near straight edge. Okay. I'm totally regular. I like having one person that I can just give all my energy into, that I can pour my energy into. That's way easier for me than trying to entertain multiple people.
and I honestly respect that. I honestly respect people who have monogamous relationships. I really do. I don't think is anything wrong with that. I mean, shit, everybody should be able to walk down the aisle with somebody that they truly love. Like hell, shit, some of the greatest pagan love stories happen between one dude and one chick. You feel me? Again, polyamory only is something that happened in the old world more pronouncedly because survival. Number one, you needed to be able to, populate multiple areas at once. That's the fastest way to do it.
That's facts. That's facts.
Um, and then two, again, it became outlawed as the population of the planet grew to a point where we can no longer sustain it. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? Like once the 1800s started rolling around and we started getting trains and people were able to go from one spot to another, that's when you started seeing the secret families. That's when you started to see people being like, hey, you know what, I don't need to talk to you in Virginia. I can go to like, California and get married to somebody, and then that we could be married in California and fuck you over way out here. So people was like, okay, yeah, that's an issue. That
Mm-hmm.
is kind of an issue.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. That's true. And that is back. Hopefully we can get his audio on.
Hey.
And so we got some more comments in the chat, but I'm reminded of something that Farrakhan said when it comes to polygamy, and it's specifically polyandry, right? When it comes to the Islamic faith, and it's something that I thought about in terms of polygamy, and that I agree with. And what he says is that, like, in Islam you can't have multiple wives, right? But usually, like,
Okay.
the wives that you would take on, or like if your brother died or something, then you could take on his wife, or somebody got widowed, or somebody had children out of wedlock or something like that. And then you could take the woman on as a wife, so you can, like, take care of her, right? That's the idea in their way of living. But what he says also is that one is usually better than multiple. And if you can have multiple, then you can. But one a lot of times is better. And I feel like that's kind of akin to my experience. You know, Amani J says she doesn't think I can love multiple people at the same time.
Well,
And I'm like, let me think about that for a second. I feel like my heart is big enough, but could I entertain the love of multiple people at the same time? Honestly, probably not. Okay? Entertaining the love of one person is enough for me. Is more than enough for me.
wow. Well, That's crazy because see, I'm an emotionally starved orphan, so I need all of it, like
I feel you.
all of
I
it,
feel
like
you.
all of it. Yeah, give me all of it. Oh my god, no. But
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
and
Okay.
I already can see the chat. Like, damn, here go broken Batman in the chat over here in the corner. He said, or all this the sad boy. Like,
Hey.
nah, but that's an interesting one. Could I have love in my heart from more than one person? Like, legitimately love them? Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I totally could do that. I mean, I have done that. I've had situations where I've dated multiple women and I loved them equally and they were cool. They knew about it. You know, they never really interacted with each other, right? But they knew of each other's existence and they were okay with it, you know? Because, again, like I said, you tell people your story, you feel me? If they really vibing with you, they gonna vibe with you. It doesn't matter what it is.
I mean, yeah, it's hard for people when they have to see the faces, though.
Yeah, no, that's facts. That's facts.
That's true.
And I think that's another reason why, it's good that you're here, because you have a very specific form of polyamory, and I think that it's more kind of a unified form.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though, right? Because it's like, I feel like when we talk about polyamory, that's what it is. This is what I do is what it is. But not everybody does what they say they're going to do. So, like, for example, if I say, hey, yeah, like, I'm polyamorous, this is what I'm doing, some people have an expectation about what that means. And so they're like, oh, okay, that means that you're doing this or blah, blah, blah. And they know other people who are polyamorous, so they put that expectation on me. But in the same vein, to me, if somebody's like, oh, yeah, I'm monogamous, to me, that don't mean nothing. Like, a lot of monogamous people I know ain't monogamous. They just say they're monogamous.
Mm-hmm.
And they doing all type of other shit.
Yes.
So it's
facts.
like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like, at least for me, it's hard sometimes to be like, all right, like, sometimes I don't even want to say I'm poly. I don't want to say what it is I'm doing. It's just like, yo, I got a partner. If you want to deal with that, that's whatever you want to do. We can talk about that. But the expectations come up about what that means. But the thing about polyamory is, like, you make up whatever you want to do. Like, me and my partner, we have our rules, our desires, what we want to do. So that's going to be different for everybody. It's not like there's a set of rules. It's like, I feel like with monogamy, there's like expectations of things that you should or shouldn't do. There's like a certain guideline that's like, whether you and your partner ever talked about it, it's like, these things are not okay and these things are maybe okay.
Yes.
But with polyamory, you got to figure that out on your own. Like, for example, one thing that might be okay for like me and my partner to do that wouldn't make my other partner uncomfortable or would make her uncomfortable or whatever, that might be okay for me. It's like maybe going bowling or some really mundane thing is something that she wants to keep for herself. Like, I don't care if you go bowling with your other partner or do whatever you want to do, but for her, she's like, all right, it might be something really simple like that she wants to keep for us, And a lot of times, the reason I say bowling is because I always use that as an example, just because a lot of times when people get upset and hurt, it's not, or at least when people know you're sleeping with other people, it's not because you're having sex with somebody else. If all that is out there, the scary part for people and the hurtful part for people is when you see them doing hella mundane stuff with the other person that they're sleeping with. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, they just not sleeping with Sally. Now they're going bowling with Sally? What? They just like hanging out, enjoying their time as a regular human person. That's when people start to feel actually threatened. You know what I mean? That's the scary part.
And speaking of that,
that's the age of Instagram made secret polyamory relationships impossible now. You know what I mean? You can't be sitting there trying to be freaking on the Insta no more, bro. They got some stories now.
People taking pictures, they screen capping stories as soon as they come up.
Exactly.
They got your page flagged just because, like, oh, you in a community and you're a girl? I'm gonna see who are you with at all times, just in case. Like, I seen you talking to somebody's man last week, so I know you the type. But no, that's facts. That's facts. But speaking of, there's a question in the chat. What are some of the lessons learned and what makes it go right? Polyamory. And I got a question for you after this because I want to hear about your specific form of polyamory and how it works.
So what I've learned and what helps it go right?
Yes.
I mean, just like, and this isn't just polyamory. Like, this is a big part of the way I live my life. Like, the reason I am polyamorous is largely because of the way I live my life in general, which is just, I don't want to be in a position to where anything that needs to be said can be said. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not even necessarily because like I need to be polyamorous. It's just I need there to be always the option to truthfully talk about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's like, whatever. If for the longest, me and her weren't seeing anybody else, you know, and that's fine. But now we are, and so we have to talk about that. Say if we're polyamorous, and I say like, yo, right now we don't want to see other people, and we agree to that. But then we meet somebody and something happens. We was out at a party or something, and we got drunk, and we met somebody amazing, and something happened. Okay, that happens, real life, to people who are monogamous too. But I want to be in a position that I can talk about it, she can talk about it, where it's not like some secret that we got to hold on to and the whole relationship gonna fall apart because this thing happened. It's like, as long as you stay, the real thing is just staying safe with the people that you're with. That's like the biggest thing. But to sum it up, truth, be honest about everything. Because like, if they don't want to be with the honestness, then it's not gonna work. It's period, point blank. That's the main thing. I've always felt that. That's not necessarily like a learned thing. It's just very hard to continue to do because people will leave. You have to be willing to like weed out the people who are not meant for you. I'm not trying to like convince anybody of anything, which is a big reason I don't like the dating setup. I feel like it's a lot of posturing. It's like trying to get something to happen where it's like, yo, I should just really enjoy being with you. Period. Like, if we won't be together, I should just really actually enjoy being with you and not the act of entertaining you. That's worth something, but that shouldn't be why people decide to get together. And for me, that's what works. Like, I found somebody who they had been in what would be a triad, like 3 people before. There was distrust in that at some point where there was information that wasn't being conveyed. That became a big issue, right? And so as much as they cared about all the people involved in that, they couldn't deal with that distrust. And so when they met me and my honesty, and also just like the being fearless about like, look, this is what I'm doing, whatever that might be, that might sound unappealing. Let's talk about it. If that's too much for you, then we can just chill and be friends, or we can go our separate ways or whatever. But that's what it is. So if you think that's worth being with me and dealing with that and talking about that and working through that's the most important thing. Be willing to let people go if they don't want what you want.
I had to let people go.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Truth, knowing what you want, and not wavering, and not like wavering for the people that you care about and trying to be a better person. Because there's like changing who you are, and then there's trying to be a better person, and bettering yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like changing your core, and then kind of decorating the outside a little bit.
Exactly, changing yourself and bettering yourself, and some people don't know the difference.
Yeah, exactly. We got some clarifications needed in the chat. It says, so Amani says, what does he mean? Just happens, right? And is the monogamous guideline what makes that a loaded question?
The monogamous guideline? What do you mean?
Like, you're talking about how there's like unwritten rules of monogamy, and yeah, and so she's asking like, what do you mean by just happens? Like when you're with somebody and something just happens.
I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about any specific circumstance. I'm talking about any time. Because sometimes just people just cheat because they want to cheat. That's a different thing. You wanted to do that. You just didn't care. But sometimes we make mistakes. People make mistakes. People live in the heat of the moment. My mom used to talk about it. She used to say, my grandmother used to say things like, look, like, I get that, like, you care about somebody, or this person is your friend or whatever. Maybe they're going through a hard time, whatever. But for her, it was like, don't go to, like, a man's house, whether they're your friend or not, when it's just the two of you. Because so many, I guess the phrase was, there's so many things a man and a woman can do alone, right? And that's fine. Some people can do that. But what she was saying is, don't put yourself in that situation if you feel like that's something that might happen. Because things just happen. That's what I mean. There's no context. There's no specific instance. It's just mistakes that happen. And I would rather talk about those mistakes. It's not about being polyamorous. Monogamous people do it all the time. I've known monogamous couples that I was friends with, both of them, and they both accused me of being afraid of commitment. I'm friends with both of them. I know both of them is cheating on each other. But I'm afraid of commitment. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that multiple times. It's not like one time in particular I was really close to both of them, and it was really confusing. But I see stuff like that all the time. Like, I know somebody cheating, or I know somebody doing something silly, and it's like, but you're afraid of commitment. It's like, do you even know what you're talking about?
But do you think, though, that is just the human fucking condition of putting one's own faults on someone else simply because it is easy to do so? For instance, a polyamorous relationship is easy to be attacked by a monogamous one. But also, to answer Amani's question, the unwritten rules of monogamous relationships were dictated and set in stone by the Crusades. Okay, if you want to know why relationships are like the way they are now, why monogamy is so straightforward like it is right now, because you'd be dead if you did anything else. Oh, what? And it'd be the worst way. So yeah, no, they don't cheat. If it's in the Catholic Bible, don't do it. You feel me? Like that's the basis of monogamy and monogamous relationship. It's just hilarious because, again, we only have divorce because of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, that's true. And Amani J says, sometimes you just want to indulge. That's basically it. Right.
It's also true.
Indulge.
Indulge in whatever life may offer.
Quick side story, though, to answer that, like, what happens, man, there was a time where I was a kid and I was helping one of my mom's friends, and this couple across the street, they were having an argument, and he was like, yeah, just take the keys and leave. And she was like, no, man, it was an accident. Like, I got drunk. I didn't mean to do it. And he was like, right, you didn't mean to do it, but you had sex with him anyway. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but the curse of monogamous relationships is that right there is an end all to the relationship, where, in fact, if you actually had, one, a secure bond with said person, or the ability to say, you know what, like you said, I can walk away from this situation. Maybe you guys wouldn't be fighting in the middle of the street, making a scene and almost getting arrested.
I don't even want to say that because really, like, the issue there would be the same depending on what kind of polyamorous relationship you had. Like, if me and her relationship is, say, like, we just don't randomly meet up with people, or like we don't have sex with people that we both haven't met and, like, talked about or whatever, you know what I mean? So, like, it could be like that in a polyamorous relationship too, if it was just some random person. And again, the real big thing is, like, did you use protection with that person? You know what I mean? Like, safety, that's the bigger thing. So it's like, you could end up in a polyamorous relationship where y'all both fighting in the street about the same thing, depending on the rules. But that's the thing. It's not that those things don't hurt and you have to agree to what you agreed to. That's the real thing. Just do what you said you was gonna do. But for you, what the polyamorous relationship allows you to do is to change, like, move the slider, right? Like, that right there, not okay in a monogamous relationship. It might not be okay in a polyamorous relationship, but sleeping with somebody that you both have talked to and been like, yo, that person, they seem all right, they seem cool, like, we're gonna trust this person together. That's okay in a polyamorous relationship, but it's not okay in a monogamous relationship, and that's okay with me, right? So it's like I have to figure out where my line is, where it's just like some random person. That's not great for any relationship, just some random person. But like where on the slider works for you, right? And it might be nothing. You might just be a monogamous person. That's fine too. I don't feel no type of way about it. Some people, it's not for them. But I feel you. It's just like.
No, I feel that, and that kind of answers the question that that Amani was asking in the chat about, like, is there partly poly? And she wants you to break down the levels. I want you to actually tell us about your relationship and how your relationship works.
So we were talking about Molly earlier. So that girl I was dating for a long time, that was hard relationship for me to get out of. I was dating the girl I'm with now for 2 years during that previous relationship. And for me,
wait, hold on, because I remember you dating somebody while you were with Molly, and we never really talked about who you were dating. Now this is the girl that she was dating. Wow, I remember you talking about her and how much fun you was having with her and shit.
That's her.
Damn, I never knew that. That's crazy.
And I mean, the thing was, it might have been stories of other people too that's mixed in there. Because like some of the people I'm still dating, some of the people I'm not, even from that time, right?
Wow. Okay.
But like we got really close, and she was dating somebody too during that time where we was feeling like, yo, this is coming to the end. You know, we was basically at one point just waiting for the lease to come up, and I talked about it. I was like, yo, when this lease is up, I think that's the end of this. And she was like, I think you're right. You know what I mean? Basically, it was harder, I think, for her to come to terms with because of where she was at in her life. But there's the thing about that, right? I can say, I know a lot of people was like, man, I was with this person for too long and blah, blah, blah. I feel that for myself, I was with her for too long, but she was in a place in her life where she needed like some pushes. You know, she didn't have a lot of confidence in her art or whatever. And so that extra almost year I spent with her, I was getting her to go to school. I was like really pushing her, like, yo, you should really, people loved her art. And she, like for nail art, she didn't go to school so she could legally do the nail art. I'm like, yo, you should go get your license, blah, blah, blah. I pushed her for months to do that. And like a month ago, I haven't seen her in like a year, you know, but like a month ago, she hit me up and was like, hey, I just want to say thank you for pushing me to do that. Cause at that time, I don't think I could have done it myself. So thank you. I'm like really happy where I'm at. She's in Seattle with her boyfriend doing nail art, having a great time, you know? But right, it's like you have to sometimes just accept, like, even though I'm not with this person anymore, I cared about this person, I love this person, and I wanted them to be better. I wanted them to be in a more stable place. So me staying in this relationship long enough to help stabilize them, sometimes it's not worth it. This time it was worth it.
Oh,
you know?
Nice. That's nice.
And so we split, and now I'm with this person. And even during that relationship, the person I'm with now, she would, sometimes me and Molly would be having arguments and stuff, and she would talk to her.
What?
And my partner, they would talk. And they were close. They nerded out about, they read a lot of the same books. They like a lot of the same type of art. And they would nerd out. And if we was having a problem, sometimes she would talk to her. And she would say like, yo, I know he's going through X, Y, and Z. And maybe that wasn't expressed when y'all talked and blah, blah, blah. And because you have two partners who both care about you and both know you in different ways, sometimes they can talk. And sometimes it's not good. But for me, it's been good. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's been good. Because they can, sometimes they can express things that I can't express. Or, you know, they know things about me that they can see that it's harder for the other person to see. But when they get together and talk, it's not just me being frustrated and trying like, oh man, you don't understand, you know, however you get when you're frustrated and whatever it is that you say. Somebody else can say like, yo, I see this in them. And they can come together as people who care, just like any other friend. Two friends is fighting and another friend coming in like, hey bro, you know, he's been going through this, maybe you didn't know that, you know, family members, whatever it might be. Two people who care about one person, who see that individual from two different points of view. That's a powerful thing. And in polyamory, you can experience that in a way that you do in other relationships. And that, again, that relationship that I had with her helped me and the person I'm with now get to where we are, because she was able to see our relationship, to see the good, the bad, and talk through it and get her own viewpoint of it, and not judge either of us when we having a fight or having a fucking, you know, some type of disagreement. She wouldn't choose sides. She would support both. She might, when she's talking to me, be like, I understand where you coming from. Yeah, that's messed up, you know. But then she would go talk to Molly and be like, yeah, like, I see he acting like this, and I understand why that's frustrating, blah, blah, blah. You know, so she can see from both sides. You don't have to pick a side. It's like, I can see that y'all are people having a communicative disagreement, and I can understand and care about both of you. And that has, so in my recent career as a polyamorous person, the past 2-3 years, that pretty much, or 4 years, that's pretty much been my experience with my partners. That's what works, is being able to see each other as individuals and not just like somebody that my partner's dating. It's like, this is somebody who's in my life, whether I want them. I mean, sometimes you can talk about it and decide like, yo, I don't think I want this person involved in our thing, you know. If it comes to that, that's a messy thing. So that's the only thing you can learn how to do yourself. But when you can be together and all see each other as individuals and as people who care about each other, regardless to whether y'all fucking or not, the point is, like, because that's where it's like, oh man, how can you love multiple people and how can you do this? I love multiple people anyway, whether I'm having sex with them or not. Yeah, and it's the type of thing where, because right, it's like when I wasn't polyamorous, I'm dating somebody, and then I have a friend that they're threatened by. It's like, oh, they're hanging out with you all the time, or they, you know, they're threatened by them because they're like attractive and they're my old friend and they've been hanging out with me and we know each other. So that's not any different to me. That's frustrating to me when I was monogamous and somebody was like, yo, I don't want you hanging out with X, Y, and Z. You gonna tell me not to hang out with X, Y, and Z? This is my friend, you know? Yeah. And right? And so regardless to what happens, all that comes up to, I want to be around people that I care about, that can talk about what's happening and can talk to each other. Yeah. That doesn't work for everybody in polyamory. That's just me. Yeah. You know, that's the way I want to be.
Okay. So it's your setup is like almost like a collective relationship. Like you would ideally be in partnership with all of the partners.
Yeah. I mean, right now there's like, she's seeing a dude that I don't really know. I like met once. I'm seeing some people who she knows and like hangs out with sometimes and is friends with. We just went out with one of them like the other night. I don't know what's going on with that. Everything's very confusing right now with me, with my other relationships. But like, just started seeing an old friend who's like wants to reconnect and wants to like see what's up. I don't know what's going on with that. And it's like, she hasn't really got to meet her yet. But even just for me talking about her, she's like, wow, she seems really cool. I want to get to know this person. Okay, you know? Cool. And that's where I want to come from.
Gotcha. That's dope. So we got a couple more questions. We got Queen of questions out here. What are some random misconceptions of polyamory? This one's like open for anybody. Any polyamory misconceptions?
Yeah. Did you get the fuck a lot?
Yeah, not necessarily true.
Well, I mean, it's basically the same, bro. Like, you pretty much like any other regular relationship.
That's trash.
I mean, man, and especially if you got a situation where the women aren't really into, and again, no digs. This is when you ain't got women who are into women. It makes it so that you literally get 2 times less the sex. It's like, it's like, yo, what did I say? Oh, yo, whoa, hold on, I came over here because I thought the village was plentiful, not the village was drying up. Nigga, like, what is this bullshit though, man?
I mean, there's a lot of ways that can go, bro, because it's like, she was talking about her, like I told you before, they was in a triad, right? And previously. And so for her, she was like, oh man, like, we used to all get together and be a whole thing. Because we live with one of her partners now. Like, she's one of my roommates. And so when I came into the picture, she was talking about that for a minute, and I was like, are you trying to like imply that you want that again, or what are you trying to do, you know? But then as that went on, she realized like, I actually don't want that. Like, me and her partner like made out And when she saw me and her together, she was like, whoa, like, I didn't realize that I don't want that, actually. Because, yeah, that was fun when me and this other group was doing it. But she was like, I feel so much jealousy when it's with you.
What?
You know?
Yeah.
So person to person, it might be different. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you three might be fucking over here, but they might not feel that way about person D or E. They be like, they might want that to themselves. You know? And so that always changes too. It's not like everybody just fucking everybody, you know? It could be anything, any shape.
Yeah, that's facts. That's definitely facts. And the next question is, how did you decide to fully step into polyamory, and when did you decide that? And both of y'all.
Okay. I'll make it quick. Like I said, it was pretty much for me. Okay. When I was in the first grade, okay, there was we went, it was Halloween. I'll never forget it. This is when I knew. Halloween, it was on the mats. It was these two girls. I don't even remember their names. But they were like, hey, we like you. I was like, whoa. Bam, like instantly. It was like, oh,
that's the life I want.
This is the way.
Yeah, like it was like, oh, yeah, pretty much. I was like, whoa, this is how it is. This is how it should be. And then after that, it was just, man, I was like, wow, I need to learn more about this. I need to know more about this. You know, I need to talk to people about this. Like, who do I talk to about that? And that started my journey down that. But like, it's amazing how instantly people clam up when they hear the word polyamory if they themselves are not in a polyamorous relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is something that anybody should be doing. You feel me? So personally, it wasn't until I got a little bit older, like way older, obviously, that I was able to actually go out and express that and be like, yeah, this is where it's at. Like I am here now in this space. And side note, I think the hardest thing for me personally, in the vein of accepting this, was accepting the fact that my partners would go out and also have other male partners besides myself. So like Dunn said earlier, it literally is dude to dude or female to female or person to person. Because man, sometimes you be sitting there and you be like, then you turn around and be like, yo, what the? You think on it like, yo, you know what? No, I don't like that.
I feel it. And you know, I haven't been in. I've been in kind of like an open situation, right? But I wouldn't consider myself have been in like an actual polyamorous relationship with multiple people, right? And I tell myself that I would be open because I feel like I would be open, but who the fuck knows?
You really don't know.
I'm gonna keep it real. I would be way more open to my lady having a partner that's a female or a woman than I would her another man. I'm just keep it real. Like I said, I want to say that I would be open. But I don't know if I can see this nigga in real life and still be cool with it.
He was like, oh, wait, hey, bruh, if I can't give you these hands, bruh, you was not even looking at my woman. You feel me, bruh? Like, get away from me. Get away from me.
For real.
That's to carry the boat.
Hard sometimes.
I believe that, bro.
But especially if it's like, this hasn't happened in this relationship, but in the previous relationship, it was like, sometimes you just don't be liking folk. And so it's like, you'll meet him and be like, him?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, out of all people, like, I would have been cool with it, but not him, though. Not Chuck from accounting. Come on.
What is like,
hey, man, look.
My man's a walking soursop, bro.
There's jealousy where it's like, man, for real, like, you just got to deal with it. Like, man, you about to just go fuck with this dude? Oh, man, I don't know how I feel about that. There's jealousy, but then it's like, man, like, you misrepresenting me walking around with a nigga like that.
For real, like, man, bro.
They don't think that I'm down bad.
Hey, Hey, how you gonna disrespect the whole family like that by bringing
Yeah,
this nigga home,
the
man?
family.
Like, what is that? What is that? What is that? Man, look. She mad at you. She back here. She mad because
She like,
look,
no,
she mad.
not that one.
Judgmental and
Not
stuff
that
like
one.
that.
Man,
It's like
Judgment.
you gotta let go of the judgment. You know, maybe they're a cool person. Don't think about it too much. Maybe he's just putting it down hella hard. Who knows?
Facts.
I don't
Facts.
know. You never know.
all right. So I have one. I got one.
Wait, no.
What is,
Dance. When did you step in polyamory? Real quick. When did you make the decision?
It was. I mean, I had a girlfriend in middle school for a while, and I was like hopeless romantic. I thought we was gonna be even my teachers and shit thought we was gonna be together, like get married. And after that, I realized I cared about other people, and during that relationship, she was like really worried about a lot of the other female people in my life, and I was like I don't want to deal with that, or having friends say like, yo, this person did X, Y, and Z, and I just don't like people telling me who to hang out with when I don't know the whole story. Everybody has their own story, kind of thing, right? And come high school, around that time, I met a bunch of people. I lived in a college town, and basically I've met a bunch of liberal college students who like opened my whole life up to like the liberal freaking ways of relationships. And after doing that, after meeting those people and hanging out with those people, that's really what made it clear to me, because I was thinking about it in my head. It kind of like probably what he was talking about, where it's like you're too young to understand what it is. You don't have a word for it. You're just like, man, I really like the idea of this thing, but you don't know what it is, so it doesn't have a shape to you. And I had people who gave it a shape to me when I was in like early high school, and that's like probably sophomore year of high school is when I really decided like, oh, this is actually what I want to do. Not just deciding it, but like having a shape and being like, okay, I need to express this to people clearly because yeah.
Okay, no, I feel that. Okay.
Solid.
Yeah.
Nora King, your question?
Man, I lost it. It was a moment question.
Damn.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah, what?
I'm only human, but yeah, no, it'll come back to me.
We were joking and laughing. What were we? I don't even know what the heck we're laughing about. We laugh about so many things on the show.
No, we were talking about how you can't be bringing these. You can't be having this
Yeah. Or somebody really putting it down.
Yeah. Now see, but that was going to lead me into my other thing though, where I was going to say like that really draws a line between a polyamorous relationship and just a flat out open relationship, because like as crazy it is to say, people do date adult actresses and they date strippers, and some people date women that walk the line. Like,
it's like dating sex workers. That's also difficult. Yeah,
exactly. And that right there, that's not a polyamorous thing. You're going to work like that. That in my opinion, would be more of an open relationship thing. Same thing like dating a stripper. Like, bro, you literally dance naked for people. Like, somebody's going to try something.
And in real life, a lot of strippers get paid a lot of extra money for favors. Okay.
Yes. So I mean, yeah, and then there's dudes that date women in the adult entertainment industry, like, which to me is wild. Like,
yeah, I don't know if I can see my girl getting just done in by a mandingo. And then just feel the same way, like she that night. It's like,
I only say that though because
penis don't fail me now.
I was like, damn, bro, there's really some dude on TikTok though who's like really in that situation. Like his girlfriend like flew his ass out to LA and he picks her up from work every day. Like that shit's wild.
I don't know how
it is. I mean, like, look, I respect all forms of work and I respect all women, and I ain't saying I would not personally do it given the status that I am. But like, damn, son, that's some hard shit. Like,
that is some hard shit. Look, let me and my partner get us on OnlyFans. I don't even see you on OnlyFans. Somebody else.
Oh damn. But nah, So yeah, that was interesting to me. Because people always, again, like I said, they assume that you have 2 times the sex. I'm like, no, you just like regular.
Yeah, exactly. And even
like,
if you date a porn star, it's like she does sex for
Yeah.
work. Who says that she's gonna want to have sex when she gets home? You
Also, you were talking about before. You was like, man, do I have the energy to like
yeah,
navigate multiple people?
yes.
That's the other thing. The one of the hardest parts about polyamory is scheduling.
I already know. My schedule is horrible.
Trying to figure out when to see who when sometimes is the hardest part.
Bro, I flake on myself 3 times a day.
I'm flake on myself.
Like, so I know I said I'm gonna do this thing, but I'm gonna do this other thing instead.
Oh, those 4 YouTube videos I was gonna make. Let me just go ahead and not do that.
I'm not doing that, bro. I'm playing games for 7
What?
hours.
Am I calling in sick right now? Hey, so I'm sorry, but I can't come in.
Say, I need to cash in my sick hours. I really need these. I got a headache.
Where the PTO at, bro? Where the PTO
Bro,
at?
bro, I need more PTO. Like, I need a higher percentage of PTO every day. So I put in that 5 minutes of work yesterday, bro. Come on, that's at least 30 minutes of relaxing.
Help me out.
And the 2 push-ups. Don't forget that. Like,
Don't forget it. Don't forget it.
Get that gym. But yeah, no. I mean, for me, once I found like the pagan part of it, personally, for me, that was cool because it was like, wow, there's like a whole section of people who just believe in open polyamorous relationships. Like, that's cool. Like, I'm down with that. And then you look at like you said, like Islam, right? You can have multiple wives. And when you said that too, it also reminded me of the Amish, because in the Amish communities, that is the same way. If your partner, brother was married and the brother dies, you can inherit the wife along with the land.
Now I don't know nothing about none of that.
Yeah, that was more of the that's more of the religious aspect.
Yeah. Because when I came back, y'all talking about polygamy. I was like, I don't know nothing about that.
No, yeah, we for sure talk about polygamy, which is a little bit different than polyamory. Right?
It's a lot of it different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I am basic. I was quoting Farrakhan and with him talking about polygamy, because polygamy is is a thing in Islam, right? But I'm saying, like, I would be open for that, right? If I'm like taking on a wife as some kind of duty, to like be there and help take care of her as a mother or just woman in the community, okay, sure. But that's not necessarily my goal, to have multiple wives. But if there's like some reason in the community where people had to have multiple wives, then okay, for sure.
That's the other difference. That's the other difference between a lot of polyamory folks. I don't want multiple. I don't even want one wife necessarily. Not even one. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a big difference right there. But I mean, it might happen one day. But yeah.
Yo, give me a wife, bro. I'm trying to turn Amani Jade into my wife. I'm trying to wife her up. I'm trying to be a grandmother with her. All right. I'm trying to have some more kids with her. All right. I'm trying to have a little village, straight farm in this mug.
See,
Amaranth Estates.
I'm over here like, damn, Amaranth Estates. That's cool. I just want to be able to like do that whole cool bad guy reveal where I turn around in a chair and have 2 hot chicks, standing behind me. That's really dope.
Do it, bro. Do it.
Get like a cat, just be like, yes.
Yes. I feel it.
Get an iPad, start hosting the show with one eye. Yes, this is good stuff. Good stuff.
So another question in the chat: do you think that LGBTQ should include P for poly or not?
No.
Nope. That's not that's like a identity like that. That's like a personal.
Yeah.
That's a preference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's more. It's less about the sexual part of relationships, and more about the romantic part of relationships.
Yep.
What?
Polyamory.
All of it.
I mean, yeah.
It is more about the romantic part. But that's besides the point anyway. Really.
Yeah.
It's
I
more about
I just mean how
about
you
that.
are like in a relationship versus the kind of sex you want to have with people. You know what I'm saying? Versus the kind of people that you're attracted to. It's more like how your relationship structure.
Yeah. Because there's plenty of poly straight people.
Yeah, exactly.
Plenty.
Exactly.
So it's like,
exactly.
I don't want to include them in the LGBT. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not a part of that.
That's facts. That's facts.
Like a bunch of old, like,
Swinger white people.
40s swinger white folk in the LGBT. No.
That'd be a bad situation.
They will come with the vengeance and the fire that only Ben Gay can provide.
Exactly. All of a sudden, 60% of the community is Republican. He's like, there's record numbers of Republicans in the LGBT community.
Exactly. But yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, it was straight wild.
Man, I saw this thing the other day. Like, this is totally off topic, but I saw this thing on YouTube, bro. Like, this should trip me out. They was talking about this plus size model. I don't even know her name because I don't care. But it was interesting because they were like, yo, this chick is like morbidly obese. How y'all gonna let her be on the cover of Vanity Fair? I'm like, damn, like Joe Rogan went hard. Like, yo, this person is like the worst person ever. And that got me to thinking, like, damn, man, it's crazy how easy it is to jump on a bandwagon because it's easy.
Yeah.
Well, like polyamory, man, and it's one of those things. Like we said at the beginning, it is very easy to pick and point at that. So people, when you say it, people immediately, like Dun said, they immediately be like, "Whoa, like what?
Mm-hmm.
Like what is like? Whoa, what you got going on up here?" I'm like,
wait, why did what not work? So I'm gonna ask the question. Tess Holiday is the chick. Yeah, people do jump on that bandwagon shit. I don't really care. I don't give a fuck who the fuck is on Vanity Fair. Doesn't matter.
I don't give a fuck.
And personally, I've found all kind of women from all different kind of backgrounds and all kind of body types attractive for different reasons. So I used to date white girls. I don't date white girls no more. I'm saved. Okay, not that white girls are bad, but I really just love black girls. I just love black girls. I love them. The black girls, they're the most attractive women to me, personally, on a personal tip. But I say that to say, I used to date a lot of different kind of people, right? And people knew me for dating heavy white girls, right? And it's not because I had a thing for big white girls. It's more about me having a big heart, and I had a lot of love, and they were really cool people. And like, yeah, they might be big white girls, but it doesn't matter that they're big and white. You know what I'm saying? Not that it's unattractive, but that's not their looks or them being attractive is not why I'm trying to be with them or pursue a relationship with them. You know what I'm saying? I usually don't pursue relationships based on looks. Like, I'm not like, oh, I think this girl is fine, so I'm gonna go get her. It's like, I think this is a cool person, so I want to be with her. You know what I'm saying?
See, and that's respectable.
That's what I do. Love you whites.
Yeah.
I big heart and I have a lot of love. And they were really cool people. They were, bro. They was cool.
To be fair, to be fair, the one that I did meet, she was chill.
I mean, look, they be chill, right? But
she was chill. She was chill.
As I've grown older, though, I need more than just chill. Okay. I need more than just chill. You know, like I said, I think all women can be attractive, but being attractive, that's really minor to me. Being like physically attractive. I need somebody really, really to be intellectually attractive. I don't care what the fuck else a woman has. She has to 100% have intellectual attraction. 100%. And I sold myself short for a very long time when it came to relationships because I settled for everything but that. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the most important part for me. A girl who I can talk to on an intellectual level.
There you go. That is important.
Live with her, please. That's funny. Use cool with her. Have sex with her. Foles when she doesn't want to open her legs. That's disgusting. Do it to her. Fetish. I don't know. I look.
You know,
baby, you and I can talk about this offline.
it's interesting.
I'm not gonna get into a conversation about my sexual habits.
Okay. It's interesting that you said that you have a preference, you know, for women. All women, I love all women, right? And you know, like I said, I mentioned on the chat before, I was pretty much raised in a Korean church. That was all I knew was Korean people for a cool minute. Korean and black. Family reunions, black people. Home and church, mostly Koreans and Hispanics. So I was like, yeah, you know, for me, I mainly go for Asian women, which is hilarious because if you look online at what people say about dating outside of their race or trying to date Asian women, it's completely utter falsehoods. Like, and it blows my mind that people have these pre notions of dating people based on race. You feel me? And then, like you said, I'm like, bro, it's all about attractiveness. Like, if I'm lightweight attracted to you, then cool. If I can talk to you, even better. I can look at you and I don't mind the sound of your voice and want to literally rip your throat out. Yeah, we're doing good. You're doing great. Like, man, you win it. You feel me? And people take that for granted. Like, they, especially, like, I think that women in relationships, I saw a post that was like, yo, women really hate how simple it is for a man to be happy. And I'm like, yeah, all you need really is like a fucking video game. Whatever is your passion, you just need that and a place to do it as a man. And you solid.
Yeah, personally, I'm the simplest motherfucker ever. I don't need shit. Okay.
Tuna sandwiches, bro. I love ham and cheese.
I just had a sandwich right now. I just had a sandwich right now.
Man.
And I had a sandwich this morning. I'm good. Fine. Like, plain ass sandwiches. Like, literally 7 times out of 10 when I go out to eat, it's Burrito Express. Order the same thing every time. Enjoy it the same way every time. Fulfilled.
We be running around, having fun and stuff, but me and my partner, we can just, as long as we can nerd out about some of the same stuff, it don't even have to be all the same stuff. Just some of the same stuff.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. That's a big thing for me. And I found out she was a bigger nerd than I am. And I'm like, what is going on? Somebody, we were talking about Predator or something one day. Somehow Predator came up in the conversation. And it was like, yeah, but would Predator even do that? And she was like, well, it depends. Like, is he a bloodborne predator? Is he one of these predators? I was like, is different clans of predators? She like, oh, yeah. Like, these predators and these predators and these predators. I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, it also depends on whether he's the elder and whether he's one of the younger predators. He might not even be indoctrinated. I was like, what are you talking about? And so that's what I realized. Like, all right. So we have some nerddoms that like cross, but then it's also just like being able to enjoy the thing that your person enjoys. That is great. I love that. And sometimes being like, yo, I don't think I'm gonna like this, you know? And then sitting down and like experiencing it, being like, all right, like I think I get it, and like being opened up to stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's an important thing, being able to learn from somebody. And like sometimes people are like, oh, we like incompatible because they don't like certain things. And I think some people mean incompatible or compatible, and like that word is real loose, because like a lot of the people I've seen in the most happy relationships, they seem like total opposites in the type of things that they like and the way that they carry themselves and stuff like that. Like at home, they're happy. Out in the streets, they might look weird together. You know what I'm saying?
Like love has no bonds, and there's no place that love can't reach.
Nope.
And people love and need different things. People love and need different things, and I think that's a really important part of any relationship. Is really understanding yourself and understanding what you need and what you want out of a relationship. Me really acknowledging and putting forward that I need a motherfucker I can talk to on an intellectual level about some shit. That one thing completely shifted my entire life. You know what I'm saying? Made the biggest difference. And that's knowing myself very well.
That that is amazing because like in the video game series Persona, it repeats one thing that stuck with me harder than any other quote in any video game ever. Know thyself.
Hey, shout out to
Right?
Egypt.
For I art thou and thou art I. And I'm like, damn, that's real shit. Like, who am I? Like, who is New King?
Mm-hmm.
Search
Exactly.
for that, man.
What
You find it.
Noir King wants to turn around in a chair with a cat and 2 women.
Yes.
That's what he wants, bro.
Yes.
You should be able to have that.
So,
It's America.
Yes, for real. You know what? Hey, that's funny because I was with a woman once, and she was like, "Yo, what do you want?" And I was like, "Honestly, I want to sit in this chair with you and another chick, you know, kind of, you know, right here." And she was like, "All right," and called her friend, and her friend came over, and we did that. And that shit was dope.
Like, mission accomplished.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like mission accomplished, boys. And I was like, yeah, no, this is how it is. And she was like, yeah, why did you ask for that? And I was like, because I am king. That is it. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Like,
that's what I would like. This is how I like to live my life.
Pretty much.
That is hilarious.
People say, oh, that's vain, or that's no. Trying to have a fancy ass car and live in some fucking overpriced apartment overlooking some skyline that you ain't never in your life gonna ever call beautiful. Only other people will. Yeah, no, that's vain. That's vain.
Figgity facts. Okay. Well, look, it is that time. We had a really, really dope conversation today. Thank you, Dunce, for coming. Our King, thank you for always keeping it real. All right. As we leave, can we give the folks a piece of a relationship advice?
Oh, okay.
Dunce, do you want to? No, our King, go ahead. Start us off, man.
No. Dunce, man, you the guest, bro. You can go. You can give the final thoughts if you're good.
I'll say this: if it's not working, leave. Be done with it. It does not work, leave. Either become friends, or if that don't work, just be done with it, right? If it doesn't work. If it is someone you care about and it works as someone you care about, but not as the relationship you tried to make, leave them better than when you met them, you know? Like if it's worth, if they're willing to listen, if they're willing to learn, if it's worth it to you to give that person something. Like, to me, sometimes maybe people don't have the most confidence in themselves, or that's like a common thing, you know? I try to leave those relationships with whatever anchor I was to them, that they don't need me there to be that pillar anymore. Like, whatever pillar of strength I was to them, that pillar is still there when I step away. You know? Mm-hmm. So if it doesn't work, get out. And if it does work and you care about them and you still have to leave, then try to, if they can't be better, definitely at least make sure that you're better on the way out.
There you go.
Fuck with that. I can do one, and then Noir King, you can end it for us.
All right, I think I can take us out.
Okay. I would say just don't go. I was gonna say don't settle, but really go for the thing that you want in a relationship. Create the relationship that you want. Define the relationship that you want. Okay. And when you get into a place where you're talking about relationships with somebody, be upfront with what you want in a relationship, and don't go into a relationship if it's not what you want.
Nice. All right. Man, both of you guys made some really good points closing us out. So I guess I leave with just some simple ones, man. You know, communication is key. Be honest with not only yourself but your partner. You know, and at the end of the day, man, if it ain't working, you can always leave. You know, there are let's see, what, like 9 billion, close to 9 billion people on the earth. You feel me? Like, you can find another woman or another dude. You can always find, there will always be someone else. You know, don't stay. Hey, your mental health is important. All right, we lose too many people every day to relationship-related suicides because they can't handle the fact that one, either they weren't good enough or they got cheated on or they got left. Cut that out right now. You can walk away. Oh, and my final piece of advice here, and then we out. Remember, kids, okay, your life, your money, okay? You don't have to be giving this shit out. Don't be simping, bruh. No simps. Ain't no simps on this channel, okay? You know, keep your money in your wallets. Keep your money in your wallets, you kings.
Hey, that's sometimes that's emotional too. I'm not saying like don't give people your emotional currency, but sometimes you got to keep that for yourself. Like,
that's facts. Everybody don't deserve your heart, bro. Everybody don't deserve your attention.
Regardless of all this relationship stuff, relationship advice, relationship styles, regardless, at the end of the day, it's us that we got to work on. It's the relationship with ourselves only. That's the most important thing. So be with somebody or not.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the number one. If things is going bad in your relationship, ask yourself what's going wrong with you first, and be like, what can I do? Not just like, oh, I'm bad. Don't be hard on yourself. Just like, what can I do to be better? And does that involve staying in this relationship and being better, or going somewhere else and being better? That's about you.
Exactly. And
not about the relationship.
That reminds me of something that Amani J said to me a long time ago. And at first it didn't make sense, but when she broke it down, I was like, damn, bro, that's crazy. She said, when you're having a hard time thinking well of me, think of yourself, right? Like when I'm having a hard time thinking well of her, like if I'm having an issue and I'm mad at her and I don't like something she's doing, think of myself and think about how I'm being in that moment. Think about what I'm feeling in that moment. Think about what it is that's triggering for me and why I'm being triggered by something that she's doing or something that's happening between us, you know, and that really, really helps. So it's like, yeah, I might be mad at you, but okay, why am I mad? Where does this come from for me? You know what I'm saying? What is it for me? How do I actually want to deal with this? Do I want to be mad? Am I really mad? You feel me?
Yeah, no, facts, man, because we, as much as I love you, we are not responsible for emotional, like you said, emotional currency, bro. I can't control it. So how I spend it is up to me, and how you receive it is up to you. So sometimes what I do that may seem non-threatening or non-whatever to me, totally evasive and threatening to you. So that's a good one, man. Think, yeah, man. Know thyself. Again, know thyself.
Know thyself. When you having a hard time thinking well of somebody else, think of yourself. Okay, think of yourself. And that's what
man,
I
that really sorry,
bro. That's why I had to say it. I had to say it.
Yeah, bro, that just really brought me back to that fucking persona quote, man. I am a shadow. Okay, I am thy true self. Like, yo, I am the feelings that you try to hide. Don't do that. Don't do that, because it's gonna come out sooner or later, man. Just be up front and know thyself. Damn it.
Yo, man, bro. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm fucking talking about. A woman who can fucking inspire me, and I'm over here giving her wisdom to other people. Okay, I'm like, damn, bro, that shit's so smart. I'm hella impressed.
Yeah, that was good. Like, wow, what?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I need to think about this. I need to write an algorithm about this thing. This is crazy.
I know, right? Like,
you done blew my mind.
That's good. Damn, that's solid.
Man, I love it. But you already know what it is,
good
man.
Good chat.
It was. So follow Noir King. You know what I'm saying? Follow myself, SumOfMan. You follow my man's Dunce.
I gotta start streaming more. Hit me up.
I was gonna say. Yes, he does. Follow him, then send him a DM like, hey man, when you streaming again?
Hey.
Tonight.
Get on that guilty gear.
Hey, tonight. Look, hey, we could do it, bro. We could straight stream any of those things. Let's talk about it. We out of here.
I'm gonna go to Jack in the Box.
Peace.